Welcome to Keep It 100 Oklahoma High School Sports. On this Thursday afternoon, folks, like I told you, we're going to bring it to you on Thursday because we want to have it up on Friday. We'll have a special guest tonight, head coach from Southmoore, Coach Josh Norman. We're going to battle Booker T tonight, getting the season kicked off, folks. We'll have him here after we come back after one of our what?
After one of these sponsors.
Keep It 100
Oklahoma High School Sports.
Man, Dad, our patio is filthy.
Good thing we got our guys at 2 Clean Power Washing to get us covered.
They can take care of your driveway, your patios, and fence, and etc. You can reach those guys at 405-808-7471. Your man, Deshaun Moore. 2 Clean Power Washing.
With 25 years experience in the industry, Line-X Customs OKC is your one-stop shop for all your vehicle accessory needs. Specializing in spray-in liners, lifts, levels, wheels, tires, bed covers, and anything else you need to make your ride look and sound better. Call Eric and the boys at 405-778-8878.
Welcome back to Keeping It 100 Oklahoma High School Sports on this Thursday afternoon with my man Big E.
Yes, sir. How's it going?
Pretty good, Big E, man. We got, we're kicking off football season. We got a special guest tonight, Coach Josh Norman, as he brings on Booker T's coming in town to take on the Sabre Cats, man. It's pretty privileged to get this coach on because I called him this afternoon and said, hey, Coach, can I get you on? And him having a game tonight, I think it's pretty privileged to get him on. What's going on, Coach? How you doing, sir?
Oh, man, I'm good, man. Ready to get this first game going, man. This is like the 2-3 hours before kickoff, like my most hated time of all the season, man. I'm just ready to get it going and get to competition, man. But really anticipating tonight and excited about seeing the guys get out there and play.
Well, Coach, I don't know if you follow the show a lot, but we talk about you a little bit, man. And we kind of did a kickoff special a couple weeks ago, and I kind of talked to my man Big E, is my sidekick here, and we kind of talked about you guys, man. Last year, we followed you. You've been a new head coach at over at the Sabre Cats, and I think that you can get those guys turned around because a few years back, they were a powerhouse. They were playing in the semifinals against Jinx when they had the Thompson, Kendall and Casey over there, but now they kind of fallen off, and I know you're trying to get them back to where they were, a few years back. But Coach, tonight you take on a tough competitor, component coming in. Booker T, one of the top teams at 6'8", and you guys are 6'1". Is there anything that you can see tonight how you can try to slow the Booker T, Hornets down?
Well, I mean, they got to slow us down too.
That's what I'm talking about. That Coach, we like that. That's what we call it. Keep it 100.
No question, man. I mean, they're a good team, talented and well coached. But we really try to focus on what we got going on and what we need to do to win. And I think for the year is hustle and execute. We want guys giving 100% effort and consistently executing the detailed fundamentals. And we feel like if we do that, we focus on ourselves and do that, we'll put ourselves in a good position to win the game. And we're focused on doing that in all 3 phases of the game, and we believe in what we got going on, man. And they got to see us too. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No, obviously, like I said, they well talented and well coached, but that's why you play the game, though.
That's it. That's why the thing about it, Coach, you get to kick off Thursday night, you get only 3 days of practice, and you go into Thursday night, 0 week, you only get 1 scrimmage in, and now you kick off the season, and everybody's itching for football, man. I mean, I'm excited because last year we all know what we went through with having COVID and not playing some games, not playing some games, and then I told Big E, like I said a couple weeks ago, I said the Sabre Cats will find a way to get in the playoffs this year. I truly believe that because I think you. Kind of knowing your background, playing at OU and playing, with the Chargers, I think, you're going to get these guys, you having that, winning tradition, with OU, then going and playing the NFL ball. I think you're going to bring that to those guys. And I think, you guys are young, but I really think that, you can get it turned around. If you can you tell me about some of your key players that you do have for this team this year?
Yeah, I think, the ones that stick out on the offensive side of the ball is our quarterback, our return starter, Noah Peters, top dual threat quarterback in the state. He provides a lot for us in pass game and in the run game. But more than all of that, he provides a lot for us as a leader. It's been a privilege to watch him grow as a leader and just develop as a quarterback. And so, we're looking forward to throwing the saddle on his back, man, and letting him lead us to accomplishing our goals. And then on the defensive side, another leader that we have is Riley Hoffman. He's just been a great leader for us ever since last year. He was a big part in the wins that we had late in the game, and two of those wins that we had last year, he was the guy making the play to seal the deal. And then Trenton Wetzeline is another corner on the defensive side who was started all 11 games for us last year. And as a junior this year, just really excited about his growth and his confidence at the corner position. And so we have like you said, we're young, man, a lot of young talent that we believe that if we limit our mistakes, man, we're gonna be a tough team to beat, man. And the thing that we I'll say for myself as a head coach, I got a great coaching staff, man. They coach their tails off. And then the kids are bought in, man. And we got a lot of fight in us, man. We got a lot of fight in us. And, that's one of those deals like that. That's something that you can never put on the stat sheet and that you can never plan for. But, we gonna fight, man. And our guys are gonna show up and it's gonna be your will against ours. And I feel like we'll be able to break people's will just by how relentless we are, how hard we play, and how disciplined we are throughout the entire game.
That's good stuff, Coach. I mean, like you said, going into your second year, last year was kind of been a little bit, with COVID and, like I said, being a young team. But I tell you, like you talk about your coaching staff, can you name some of your coaches? Because having some of your guys also played college ball, a little pro ball too, some of the guys on your staff?
Yeah, there's a couple of guys on our staff that played, at the highest level of college football, and then also professionally. One being Leon Johnson. He played. He's a North Carolina Tar Heel, and then I actually played with him in San Diego. But he played with the Jets, the Bears, San Diego, and just had a really long NFL career. He's our running backs coach and special teams coordinator. But besides just the guys who have playing credentials, man, we just got guys who one, have a passion for developing young men, but then two, they just have a love for the game, man, and they coach with passion, they coach with a lot of intensity, and they coach in detail. That's one thing that I was looking for in my coaches and my staff is just guys who know how to coach the detailed fundamentals of their position, and just extremely proud of the work that my staff has put in, and we look forward to seeing, reaping the fruits of our labor.
Big E?
Yeah. Just a kind of last question before we let you go here is, what can we expect from the Southmoore SaberCats tonight and the games moving on?
Well, like I said, man, you can expect that you're going to see a team that just freaking fights, man. Like, we're going to come out, we're going to fight. We're going to play hard from whistle to whistle, from buzzer to buzzer. And we're going to play with passion. We're going to play with, we're going to play like we've sacrificed and earned the right to play. You know what I'm saying? And so, man, just, we going to play ball, man. We're going to play ball, man. And that's the thing we've been trying to instill in our guys, man, is just hustle and execute, hustle and execute, hustle and execute.
Well, Coach, I mean, like you said, you got to, Booker T. Washington coming in town, which probably had one of the best bands in high school football. So at least at halftime, you get to enjoy a good, hope you guys have the lead, and we do this podcast every week, and, we predict games and scores and all that. And like I said, you're one of the teams that we have in 6A Big that is going to make it to the playoffs this year, because I just feel like the way you coach and the things that you do and just the passion that you have for the game, especially playing at the high level, what it brings. Kids look up to guys that's been there. Like I said, you played at OU, you played in San Diego, and now you're coming back and you're giving your knowledge that you've taught and learned to bring it back to these guys, man. And it's always good that when you got a coach like somebody that's played at those levels that you want to do good for. And I think, I mean, like I said, you have to share more with two other schools, more Lions, and then you got the Westmoore, Jaguars, and Zoe's kind of like a family member to me, man. I mean, we're like family, but I'm gonna pick the upset. I'm picking the SaberCats to beat more Lions. I'm picking the SaberCats to beat the Westmoore Jaguars because I just think Coach Norman and his team. And if you heard it first, he'll keep it 100 because I just what I do, Coach. I keep it 100, and I wish I wish the best for you guys tonight. And I mean, I'm upset because I got to do this show. As I told my wife last night, I said, hey, don't make any plans because Friday night I'm going to watch Booker T and the SaberCats. And guess what? The game's tonight. And that's when I text you. I was hoping you say Friday night. But, hey, good luck tonight. And I hope everything works out good because I know as a coach, man, opening up the season and you're getting opened up the season right because, last year was bit by COVID. But now you get to have fans. You ain't no capacity. You get to have everybody in the stands and get the season, the 2021 season jumping off. So good luck to you in the Southmoore SaberCats tonight, sir.
Thank y'all for having me on, man.
Hey, Coach, we appreciate it, man. And like I said, I love to come out to a practice and shoot some film. And I know your quarterback's a stud. I follow him on Twitter, and he follows me back. And I just tell you, man, I mean, what you got going over there, I think you're going to do big things this year. So good luck to you this season.
You're always welcome, man. So.
Thank you, sir. Good luck. Thank you.
Good luck.
And folks, that's Coach Norman from the Southmoore SaberCats. I know people's probably like, damn, Tony, you jumped the bandwagon. You're talking about the Westmoore Jaguar. But, folks, I tell you right now, he can tell you last year I was on the SaberCats. I think if they can play a full year, you got some young guys. When you have young guys, man, and they've been in the trenches already when the season started, you know what I'm saying, I mean, these guys got to play last year as sophomores. So they're not sophomores no more. These guys are juniors and seniors. Even though they might be a junior on the field, but they got the mindset of a senior now because they played in those games, They started in some of those games. And once you've been in the big ball game, you've been on the Friday night lights, and I tell you, open up against Booker T. Tonight, I'm going to tell you, he's going to have a tough game tonight. I'm going to keep it 100. Booker T is the real deal. I mean, I know he kind of got on me a couple weeks ago, but after I've been watching some film on Booker T, and they take Jinx last week to a half game scrimmage, and it's 13-12, and their best player didn't play. I tell you right now, folks, you better watch out for not only is that band good, but that damn football team's good too. But I tell you, folks, we're fired up. I know we had to jump this, we had to jump off and not really get to do our things first because this guy got a game tonight, and he gave up his time to come hang out with us.
For sure.
That's big time. Yeah. That's what we do here, folks. Keep it 100. We make you quit what you're doing and come do what we want you to do. You like that, Big E? Yeah. I'm fired up because this football starts tonight.
It is. I'm fired up too, man. I don't look like it. I just woke up from a nap. I'll get
come on, you got to get fired up, baby. You got to get fired up.
I am super excited. I mean, just football is back in general. I mean, preseason NFL games, I've been watching those, and then we got a little bit of college football going on this Saturday.
This weekend kicks off. High school kicks off tonight, and we got some games we're going to talk about.
I'm off Saturday, so I'm going to be stuck in front of my TV watching college football.
Well, I got a dang fantasy football draft. Then I got to go coach I got to coach that little team I'm coaching. I'm telling you, you watch out for that Jones 6th grade team. They loaded. Woo-wee, they loaded, boy. I'm telling you. Coach Martin, boy, you got you some players coming up here in the next few years. You got that new field. But, folks, we're going to jump into all of that after we come back after one of our what?
After one of our sponsors.
Keep it 100 what?
Oklahoma High School Sports.
You tired of going out to your trash can, having to smell so bad? Well, no further. Call Spiffy Cans. He cleans, disinfects, sanitizes. 405-423-8824 or go to spiffycansok.com. Spiffy Cans, he's your man.
Spiffy Can, he's your man.
Welcome back to Keeping It 100 Oklahoma High School Sports. We're back, and we're going to talk about some of these Week 0 games, some of these matchups that we got going on. So, football's back, baby.
It's here. It's here. Yeah. And we want you guys to jump on, man. And one thing that I know that we're going to do this year, we're going to do, we want people to send us in top plays, and then we're going to judge them and put them. We're done with Coach Norman. We got to put our stuff up there. We got to put our big that pays the bills. Keep it 100. But folks, know this year we're going to do we're going to do top 10 plays. We want you to send it to us, and some of the top 10 plays, and we'll judge them. We'll go from play 10 to play 1, and at the end of the year we might, give something away. But I just think it'd be kind of cool that, we pick some of the top 10 plays. No matter what class you guys sending us to me and Ian, we'll play it back on here, kind of like ESPN do. We'll play it back. But I think that'd be pretty cool to play some of the top 10 plays, from the high school games. Because like I said, we're shooting on Thursday nights, and the show will be up on Friday mornings, and then hopefully we can get it back on Spotify. And some of those things, so you can listen to us if you don't want to see our beautiful face, because we are some good looking men. I ain't gonna tell you. Well, I mean, we are good looking. So thank God we are good looking. So, no, I'm just joking. But let's go. Let's get it started. Week 0.
Yep, week 0. Starting off with 6A1. Obviously, we just talked with Coach Norman. Southmoore versus Booker T. Southmoore, they're a young team. I think they do have the right pieces where they can turn it around. Last year they didn't win very many games. But I agree with Tony. I think they do have the right pieces in place to, get things rolling again. But they got a tough start to the season playing Booker T. Washington. And, if I'm being completely honest, I think Booker T is probably a top 3 team in the state this year. They got guys all around the field. You got Gentry Williams, one of the top athletes in the nation. Then you got Micah Tees, one of the better wide receivers in the state. Hopefully both of them go to OU. That'd be really cool to see, kind of getting off topic here for a second, but what I like of what OU's doing now, they're recruiting more in-state. They're still getting all these big-name guys from across the nation, but they're always looking in their backyard first. So I think that's pretty cool. Anytime that you can bring in guys from your backyard, come play football for you, it's always great. But, should be a really good game. I wish I could make it out there, but I got stuff going on tonight, so... really excited. I'll probably follow it on. There's probably some live stream I could watch, hopefully. So, watch it there.
I picked the score of that game. I'm gonna pick Booker T 35, Southmoore 21. I know we said Coach Norman's gonna get in the playoffs, but tonight I think he suffers an L. I just think Booker T is just too loaded, man. I mean, anytime you're gonna play the number 1 team in the state in 6A big. To 13 to 14 to 12 or 14 to 13, whatever the score was, 1-point game, and not have one of your better players play, it just tells you how good you are. I think Booker T is hungry. I know you hear me say that a lot, but I think Booker T, and a couple weeks I even had him in the finals in the 6A small, but right now, if everything goes well, it's going to be hard for teams to beat them. And I'm just keeping it 100 because I know a lot of teams got players coming back, but man, they're not. They might not be as big as the Yellow Jackets up front, but I think they probably have more team speed. And when you got corners like that can cover, and you got a receiver, and you don't have a Jordan Meeks that can cover outside, one like the guy that you just talked about, man. I think the kid last week just went crazy, man. I mean, just went off, and it's going to be good to see these games here in the next few weeks. But I picked Booker T to win tonight, 35-21, 35-14, somewhere in that range. What you got next, Big E?
Next game that I'm looking at right now in 6A1 is Owasso versus Edmond Santa Fe. That's gonna be, I mean, that's a pretty big 6A1 matchup, and we get it in week 0. So, kicking off the season with one of these bigger matchups. Owasso, we know what they're capable of. They're always usually in the top 4 at the end of the year. And then Edmond Santa Fe, they've been on the rise for the past few years, They've been bringing out a lot of talent and winning a few games here, So that'll be a pretty big matchup. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and call that my game of the week in 6A1.
Yes, sir.
Because, Owasso's got a lot of talent. Edmond Santa Fe has a lot of talent. Man, I don't even know. I don't even think I could pick a winner of this game. I think it's going to be close. It's going to be really, really close. Week 0, usually you got a lot of things to clean up. Week 0, It's not going to be perfect football, but it is Owasso and Santa Fe yet again. I mean, 2 really good powerhouse programs in the state. I'll pick Owasso to win this one. I think they'll edge it out by like 3 or less points. I think it'll be that close of a game, and
I'm going to pick Edmond Santa Fe. I think Edmond Santa Fe came up last year short in the state finals. I think they got some stuff to prove. They got a couple guys going D1. They got a pretty good team, so I think those guys will find a way to try to get back to the state championship again, because once you've been there and you taste that apple, now you want to try to get back there again, because that's what it's all about. It's trying to get back, and it's hard to get back. Believe me, folks, you might not never get back, but I think Edmond Santa Fe will pull this one off, and I'm going to pick 28-21 Santa Fe Wolves. Oh, Wolves.
Yeah.
What we got
just a couple of games here. You got Jinx and Broken Arrow. They're both playing teams from Mansfield, Texas. You got Jinx playing Mansfield Summit, and then Broken Arrow playing Mansfield Legacy. Jinx is traveling down to Texas to play them tomorrow, and then Broken Arrow will have Mansfield Legacy at their place up in Broken Arrow. So, anytime you can bring in Texas teams to come play us, I mean, I think that's a good opponent.
Great.
Texas football is
Great
probably the biggest stage of high school football. I mean, there's other states that are on the rise, like Florida, California, Georgia's kind of getting up there. But Texas football, nobody does football like Texas does. And, everybody, when you got like multi-million-dollar stadiums and like high school stadiums that look like a Division I football stadium and stuff like that, bringing that much money into it, it's a big deal out there. So it's always good to have that competition for our state, and that helps build our brand. I feel like Oklahoma is one of the more slept-on states in the nation as far as football goes and talent-wise, and you see talent coming out of Oklahoma now. I mean, you got George Kittle in the NFL, probably one of the best, if not the best, tight end in the NFL right now, on a Super Bowl contending team. And, you got, Oklahoma's on the rise in general as far as like football,
right.
Basketball, baseball, there's a bunch of guys coming out of the Sooner State. But, be completely honest though, I don't know much about either of these two Texas teams, but, if they're from Texas, they got to be somewhat tough. Hopefully, I would like to see both of the Oklahoma teams come out with a win, obviously, but that'll be a really good matchup for both of those schools. I mean, Jinx coming off of a state championship, and then Broken Arrow. Excited to see what they're able to do this season. They got a new coaching staff in there, a bunch of guys that that aren't really talked about. They got that running back Marion Horn that's pretty good, and he's going to be one of those guys that we talk about as the season goes on. But I think that's going to about do it for 6A1.
Well, I'm going to pick real quick.
You're going to pick?
I'm going to pick. You got Broken Arrow, like you said, with a new coach, man. He wants to prove himself and get the season jumping off. And I tell you, folks, week 0, man, I think it's exciting to play week 0, man. You get a break in the middle of the, here in a couple of weeks. But it's good and it's bad because you don't get all your scrimmaging in. So, like he said earlier, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to have offsides. You're going to have holding. You're going to have passing interference. You're going to have, defensive offsides. Stuff's going to happen. It's not going to be a clean game because you haven't played all your scrimmages yet. So, tonight it's, these teams are starting off with good teams. A lot of times when you start your season off, you start off with teams that's not as good. But these teams are at the point now like, hey, for us to get to the state championship, for us to get the looks and college coaches come look at us, we got to bring in better competition, and that's what they're doing. Yeah. And that's what it's all about. And that's what you want. You want to play the best of the best. If you see all these teams that start scheduled teams out of the state, and to me, I think that's cool as hell. If I'm a high school kid and I can play somebody from Texas, Virginia, or Louisiana, or anywhere else, I think that's cool as hell. So I think Owasso will get the win, and I think Broken Arrow get the win over these Texas teams. Texas football is good, but it ain't Oklahoma football, baby. That's what we do here in Oklahoma. We hit you in the mouth. Texas got a bunch of athletes, but we got a bunch of mean guys that'll hit you in the mouth. So good luck to all the teams in the 6A. I tell you, man, it's exciting, man, to get to talk. I know your boys in 6A2 is that what we got next?
Yeah, 6A2. So I think. We got some good games in 6A2 this week. You got Bixby playing another Mansfield team. I don't know what's up with these Mansfield teams coming up, I guess. But they got Mansfield Timberview at Bixby. So another Texas team that'll be playing Bixby. Bixby's coming off a state championship in one of their closest games that they've had in a while against the Choctaw Yellow Jackets. So excited to see what they're able to do this season. They did lose quite a bit of talent last year. They lost their quarterback, lost other pieces as well, but they still got two of their main pieces on offense, and that's their tight end Luke Has and their running back Braylon Presley. I think it's Braylon. Yeah,
yes, sir.
Brennan's the older one. Okay, so anytime you got those two guys on your offense, it's giving defensive coordinators nightmares. So
excuse me.
Luke has big, strong guy. He's also pretty quick. I mean, anytime that you got somebody that big that can come at you that fast, it's a scary sight. And then Braylon Presley, Tony likes to use the analogy or whatever. Like, you couldn't tackle that man in a phone booth. So
he's the best back in the state, in 6A. Right now, he's already committed to Oklahoma State. Yep. They got both of the brothers there. Then they got the little brother coming up next year. And then, next year, Jinx will be in the big 6A. So I know a lot of those teams in the small 6A are like, yes. So it opens up the door for a lot of other teams. But, with Booker T right now, and I'm telling you right now, Booker T looks good. I'm telling you, there's going to be some great games this year. I think that Choctaw Booker T game, that Choctaw Bigsby game, Choctaw Sand Springs. Yes, Ronnie, I'm saying Sand Springs. Watch out for the Sand Spring. Is it Sandites? Sandites.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a name, man. Sandites.
I don't know what a Sandite is. I don't have to Google that.
If anybody know what a Sandite is, please let us know. Please let us know. But who else we got? 6A?
Another Texas team playing your alma mater, the Midwest City Bombers. McKinney Boyd playing up against Midwest City tomorrow night at Midwest City. I think if I'm not mistaken, McKinney Boyd's one of those better teams in Texas football.
Hey.
It's always cool to see somebody of an opponent of that. I don't know what the word I'm trying to find, but somebody that's good coming in from another state to play. A historic team in Oklahoma. That's going to be a good game. I wish I could make it out there, but to watch the game, but. I got work tomorrow night. That would definitely be the game that I'd be at just to see Texas football live and up close, because everybody talks about it all the time, but I've never been able to see it in person for myself. But I think that'll be a pretty good game. Midwest City, they've been battling for a state championship the past few years, as they usually do. Tony, probably their biggest critic, just him coming from it being his alma mater. He thinks they're going to have a pretty slow year this year, somewhat of a down year, and I'd have to somewhat agree. They got some guys on that field, and they still have that quarterback,
Irving.
Yeah, and they got athletes, but not every year can be your year, and sometimes a rebuild year is needed, and then there's nothing wrong with that. But one of the better teams out of Texas coming up to play Midwest City. I'm gonna have to take the Texas team on this one. Hopefully, I'm wrong though.
Well, I tell you, the Bombers. If you don't know about the Bombers, man, and if you grew up in the early '80s and '90s, one thing we always say, Bomber Magic. Well, with Coach Hall and those guys, man, he's gonna have those guys coached up. But like he said, you're playing a Texas team that probably. In high school, football numbers are not like they used to be. You used to have 100 kids coming out. I don't know what Midwest City got coming out. I drove by practice just the other day, and I was picking Zoe up, and they got some good size, but it's going to be tough. When you're playing week 0 and you ain't got everything ironed out, you're going to have some offsides and the penalties. And if you can win the penalty race, you're going to win the ball games, because whoever has the third and long is where it's going to hurt you at. And I don't think Midwest City's passing game is right there yet. I think Irving can throw the ball. Can run the ball, but I don't know if the passing game's right there yet. And they got one of the best corners in the state, Ortez. The kid's it's a freak. So if he can kind of keep them in the game with Seabach and some of the other guys they got, they're going to be fine. And they still got a great safety. That was there last year. It's going to be a senior. I can't even think of his name now, but. Big tall kid, but I'm just saying, Jawan. They still got some pieces, and I will say they lost a couple kids that went over to ease on them on it, and this sucks when you lose kids, man. I tell you, folks, we're gonna have a special show coming here in the next couple of days, man. My little cousin, man, he was out at his boy was out at PC North, and I kind of blew up on Facebook yesterday with the PC North coaching him, and it's getting really, really interesting. And and he called me today and goes, hey, tell you, should I come on the show? And I told him we're not on this show to come bash people, even though I might get fired up and say things, but I'm not going to get on here and bash a high school coach, even though if the coach is right or wrong, because at the end of the day, this is called Keep It 100, and I do want to keep it 100, but at the end of the day, that's that man's job. I'm not trying to take nobody's job. Granted, there's sometimes I get fired up at people, and they should do do right things, but, like I told him, we'll come on and have a special show, and I'm telling you, them ratings going to be out the roof, because, I'm trying not to talk him off the edge today because, I mean, he wants his kid to be eligible. He moved his boy out here, you know, and I was upset that he moved his son out here because sometimes, man, I tell people all the time, it's not that, hey, I'm a Choctaw basher. I'm not. I just think, I mean, they're doing a great job out here at Choctaw. Coach, he goes to the games and he follows them. Deshaun was at the game last week. But, coach kids you got. And I tell people that all the time. People, you got I mean, PC North, I don't know what you did to get that man mad to move, but I'm just saying, sometimes the grass is not always green. And I try to tell him that because right now, he's handcuffed. Until that coach gives him a release, he can't play. Yeah. His boy's a junior. Yeah. And it sucks.
Yeah.
I was that dad as a junior. Do I pack my boys up and leave? Or do I stay here? Well, guess what? I made a hell of a decision because you know why? Y'all had a hell of a year.
Yeah, we did.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's why I said sometimes the grass is not always greener. Because if everybody does it, man. We talk about this over and over and over again. I know I'm jumping off the subject, but we will have him on and talk more about this. And it's like I said, it's not to bash no coach. I'm not going to bash no coach. If a coach ever want to talk to me offline and he says, man, Tony, what do you not like about him? And I keep it 100 and I'll tell you. But ain't no coach going to call and tell me because he don't want to hear the truth because all I do is keep it 100. But let's get to the next game, though. I'm fired up now, Biggie. You woke me up. I'm about to fall asleep over here. I feel like you, like I'm in class.
Moving on to 5A. A lot of smaller matchups. You got Bishop Kelly and Posho. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Poto, baby.
Poto.
All
right. And then Wellington at Duncan. El Reno at Cash.
Don't Guthrie kick up? Yeah. Don't Guthrie play this week?
Oh, yeah. Guthrie will play Shawnee. They play at Shawnee this week.
That's old Sexton, man. Sexton was the Bombers, defensive coordinator. He left. He was at Memphis City for a long, long time and done a great job getting kids in college. Then he went down to Muskogee, and, I loved it because, you guys beat Sexton before he left and took the Shawnee job. And, it's funny because, they're trying to prepare for you guys, and no one thought Choctaw was going to win that game. And, and Corbin, I give it up to him.
Pretty cool little underdog story.
Yeah. Come out and, hit Chase on that little.
Oh, man.
That was a hell of a play.
I still play that play in my mind.
Yeah, just a hell of a play caller, man. And I tell you right now, then, Dad comes back and hit Gabe on a long 75-yard touchdown, and the defense did their job, So it's good to see, those things. But I tell you, Sexton, you got your work cut out, man, because I don't know if Shawnee, you're building that other high school out there now, South Lake, was it South? What's the new school?
This is the first time I'm hearing of it.
I can't think of the name, but I'm getting so old. South Rock or something, whatever it is out there in Shawnee. But, you got the new high school that you're competing with the old high school, and Shawnee's not like it used to be. So good luck to Sexton this year. Guthrie, Guthrie used to be a big powerhouse in 5A football. Yeah. I think they've kind of fallen off. I think they're trying to get themselves back, after they lost their coach. And, the team has never been the same. So good luck to them this year. They'll battle, Carl Albert this year. And I think Shawnee will have Carl Albert this year. So, good luck to you, Sexton. I think it's going to be a tough year. Hope you can you can find a way to get in the playoffs, but I think it's going to be tough.
Yeah, and then I'd say my game of the week for 5A this week would probably have to be Coweta at Bishop McGinnis. Two schools in 5A, for the past 5 years, Carl Albert has been running 5A, but these schools have been close, chasing their tail. Coweta, really good school. They got a beautiful, really nice facility out there for their football team. It's I've always wanted to go out there just to check it out. And then Bishop McGinnis, they usually seem to be the ones that's playing Carl Albert in that championship game. But I'm excited to see what both of these teams are able to do this year. And moving on to 4A. Let's see what we got at 4A. We got Jones playing up quite a bit, playing Bethany. And 4A, I believe Jones is still a 2A school, and they're playing a 4A school in Bethany, so that's a pretty big jump. And that game is at Jones, but
breaking in that new field.
Oh yeah, breaking in that new field. And the thing about Jones, like they don't have the, they don't have like the school population to where they can play in these bigger, bigger districts. But I mean, they have a lot of talent, even with not having, that many kids on their roster. But, you got who I think is probably the best quarterback in the state, one of the best, and that is Carson May. Really, really big guy. I never seen him before, but he came into my work one day, and I was like, oh, my gosh, this kid's like 6'4", like 200 and something pounds playing quarterback. He's a big kid. And, I think football is kind of starting to get away from the bigger quarterback. You got guys like Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, Drew Brees, Russell Wilson, all having great success in the NFL, and they're all guys that are at 6 foot or less. And but I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a big QB. You can see over that line, got a big long arm, big wingspan. He can get the ball out there, maybe do a little sidearm, get it around, do some crazy stuff. But Jones is always one of those teams that they play in a small division, but they play a lot bigger than what they look.
Yes,
so, but yeah, that's Bethany and Jones. Cleveland versus Newcastle. Cleveland have a heck of a head coach. He was my offensive coordinator my senior year.
Little peek on the tee, peek on the tee. Yeah. We'll have him on the show. That's what we do. He'll be on the show next week. I sent the text out to him. When can they have you? He said anytime next week. So we'll have Coach Stidley on next week.
Stallard.
I'm telling you, I'm just having a bad Thursday. He got me picked up, bro. It's been a long. Yeah. It's been one of those days. Here we go.
Yeah. It was crazy, learning his offense or trying to learn his offense. I still can't wrap my mind around it, to be completely honest. But just the stuff that he was doing and the schemes and everything like that, I was like, oh my gosh, this man is a football genius.
Freak.
I mean, just like an absolute, like the Einstein of football. Everybody called him Little Lincoln Riley. I mean, and that's exactly what he is. I mean, he's just an offensive mastermind. Just the plays that he draw up on the spot. We'd head into the film room or the locker room at halftime. He's like, okay, here's what we're doing. Here's what we're going to do. And we go out there and do it. And I think that's why we had the success that we had my senior year. Was great in due of his part of that offense. We had one of the most explosive offenses that year. And when you got guys like Chase Jackson, Gabe Johnson, Thad Williams, guys that can be explosive and get down the field, and somebody that can throw that deep ball. I mean, I think it was just a match made in heaven. But, I mean, when your hometown comes calling and they say, hey, we got the head coaching job for you, it's hard to pass that up. So, good luck to Coach Stallard and the Cleveland Tigers this year. They got Newcastle tomorrow night.
I'll tell you this real quick. I know you talk about him, man, and Cleveland, you be excited because you got him right now. That guy will coach at the next rank. I mean, he'll coach at the next level. He is an offensive mind genius. He's another Lincoln Riley, like you said it. Yeah. He'll coach in college, Division I, Division II, wherever he decides to go. So, Mama, pack that baby up because you will be moving soon.
Yeah, and then I think that's gonna Altus versus Chickasha. I bet that'll be a pretty good game. Tuttle versus Sulphur. Sulphur is another one of those teams. Both Tuttle and Sulphur are both pretty good in 4A. Great teams in 4A. That'll be a really good game. Moving on to 3A. Let's see what we got here. Class in SAS versus McLeod. Alva versus Kingfisher.
McLeod got one of the best backs in the states. Remember that.
McLeod
has one of the best backs in the states. You heard Andy say that last week. One of the best backs in the states, man. The kids can go.
Oh yeah, that's right. He did say that.
He can go. So keep your eye on the McLeod running back. Don't know his name. Yeah. I will have it next week for you though. Yeah. But he's one of the best backs in the state.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got. Locust Grove versus Morris. I think Locust Grove is one of those top teams, if I'm not mistaken. They're a pretty good team. Medill versus Tishomingo. I don't know much about the Tishomingo football team, but I know they got some great fishing out there. Every time I go out there, I at least catch me about 30, 20 bass, something like that. I mean, great fishing out there. They release trout out there at the Blue River. Really pretty. It don't even look like Oklahoma when you're out there. It's just so pretty. Got to get back out there sometime. But, yeah, I'm just rooting for Tishomingo just because of their fishing, really. They got really good fishing out there. So let's go Tishomingo.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But 2A, golly, there's so many 2A teams, man. Hennessy versus Crescent. One of my good friends graduated from Hennessy, coached there for a year, but now he's up coaching at UConn. Bryson Hunt, he played with me at Choctaw for a couple years, and then he had to go back to Hennessy, finished up there, coached at Hennessy last year. Now he's at UConn coaching linebackers. But yeah, Hennessy versus Crescent, Henrietta versus Okema, Miami versus Dewey, Purcell versus Lone Grove. I bet that'll be a pretty good game. But yeah, I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm gonna keep it 100. I don't know too much about these 2A teams. So if you or your kid plays 2A football, fill me in on some 2A football. Let me know who's good.
Let us know. Hit us up. Hit him up at what?
On Twitter at Ethan_Z_Davis.
Or you can hit me up at high keeping. And, it's like, folks, we will do a scholarship for a player this year going into the fall season. We still haven't gave my man the scholarship for the soccer kid. Don't know his name right off back, but we still have his check from, it'll be coming from Bobby Lewis, State Farm agent, and the one we'll be giving away in the fall will be coming from Proactive. And then my main man, you see I got his hat on tonight, Linux Sanford. So, they take care of you, but I'm telling you, Eric is rocking and rolling. And, with COVID kicking off again, Brad's probably got it rocking and rolling again with, Proactive Protect. So, thank you guys for, helping and helping us, sponsor and keep this show going.
Oh, yeah. We really appreciate it. Appreciate you guys tuning in this week. Make sure you follow us on our Twitters. Make sure you subscribe and comment. Turn on the notifications so that you know whenever we do post. We're going to try to get these uploaded around 9:30, 10 a.m. on Friday morning so that, Friday is football time. And you can start off your morning listening to Keeping It 100 Oklahoma High School Sports. Yeah, make sure you hit us on Twitter. Let us know what you agree with, what you don't agree with. We love y'all's feedback. But make sure you leave some comments. Just interaction. I mean, it goes a long way. It may seem small, but it really does go a long way with helping us grow our channel and everything like that. But I appreciate you. We appreciate you. And, we'll see you next week on Keeping It 100 Oklahoma High School Sports.
See ya.